Today we're gonna make the prime tea together, and this is something that I make almost every single day. I drink it Monday through Friday, and when people ask, why don't you drink it on the weekends? I always feel that if you do something Monday through Friday and then give yourself a break over the weekend, you are actually more committed to it come Monday. And I absolutely feel that result. After kind of eating off of my normal diet during the week and not taking the prime tea, come Monday, I'm ready for the nurturing and detoxifying effects of this digestive tea. So these ingredients are always in my kitchen. We have cumin seeds, coriander seeds, and fennel seeds. Now, you can make it on stovetop, which is the way that I describe it in the book, but I'm going to show you a little hack that I do at home to save me time in the morning since it's such a regular part of my routine. So I found this wonderful little tea maker, and I actually just add the seeds in here and then place it in the water to boil, and then I leave and get ready for my day. So we're going to start with a teaspoon of cumin seeds, a teaspoon of coriander seeds, and a teaspoon of fennel seeds. Now, for those of you that may be a little sensitive or maybe experiencing a lot of detoxification with the tea, you can go to half a teaspoon. I usually start people in half a teaspoon. I've been on this tea for so long that I do not have any problems with doing it a higher dose and concentrating it a little bit more. Now, those are the three ingredients, but today I'm going to show you some of my secret prime additions. So I'm not going to add these today because they are all heating, and since we're in the warmer months, I do not need to be hotter than I already am, but I oftentimes will add these in the remainder of the year. The first one is a tried and true favorite of mine for adding into the prime tea, which is Fenugreek Seeds. Now, Fenugreek Seeds is used in Ayurvedic medicine for many different things. The reason I use it is for helping gas reduction. So when do I use this tea? I use this particular seed in my tea whenever I know I'm going to be eating something that's going to cause gas. And in our house, that is when my husband makes his famous taco salad, which is absolutely delicious, and I cannot get him to stop making it. But I know that that day we are all going to be bloated if we do not add some fenugreek seeds. And depending on, again, the situation, if it's just this taco salad, I usually add about an extra half a teaspoon into the tea. And, you know, if I'm going to be doing something like pizza night, if my son has chosen that his meal for the weekend is going to be pizza night, I'm definitely going to be adding a full teaspoon because I can use that extra digestive support. Now, the other favorite of mine is celery seeds, and they're these teeny tiny little seeds, and I use them for helping with joint health. So when do I use this? When I go for my martial arts practice and I've been crouched down for 2 hours, I come out with my knees just complaining of how hard I've used them. So on the days that I go for martial arts, I add about a half a teaspoon of celery seeds. But if joint health is something that is a daily concern of yours, you can just include a half a teaspoon of celery seeds into your regular prime recipe, and you will notice a difference in about a week max. It's an immediate change in your joint health and a reduction in pain and inflammation. And last but certainly not least is the cinnamon. Now, I think I've got a little bit of a cinnamon addiction. Cinnamon is used for so many different things in Ayurvedic medicine, but it is heating. And since I do tend to have pitta, I've got to be really cautious with it. I just love this taste. And so if you do not have a pitta imbalance like I do, you can use this year round. For me, I cannot use it in the summertime. And because I love it so much, my husband usually has to intervene once it gets kind of hot to like take this off of the menu for me over the summer. But the reason I love it so much is, first of all, it's fantastic for digestion, and we use it for treating candida. And I really credit this in addition with the other 3 seeds for helping me to keep candida free year round. But I also love it because of the benefits that it has on overall hormonal health, particularly in helping with blood sugar levels. So one of the big challenges for women as they go into perimenopause and into menopause is we become more insulin resistant. And cinnamon powder is one of the ingredients that I use to help counteract that and help to counteract some of the bloating and swelling that goes along with that. So when it is not the summertime, I typically add about half a teaspoon, but if you know that you have a lot of pitta, start with about a quarter teaspoon. A quarter teaspoon goes a long ways with cinnamon powder, especially when you're adding it with the other seeds. And if you feel like you're tolerating it and you're not getting overheated, go ahead and go up to half a teaspoon. And this is always a good reminder for me that even though something is healthy, if done in high doses, and if it's done in a way that it increases your underlying imbalance, something very healthy can become unhealthy in you. And that's the beauty of Ayurveda. It's so individualized. All right, so these guys are not going to get added today because I'm not having my husband's favorite taco salad dish, and I'm not going for my martial arts, and because it's summer, and so I've got to really cut down on my cinnamon intake over the summer months. So my seeds are in, and then I just hook this right onto here, and I immerse this into the water, and I've already measured out 4 cups. That's typically the concentration that I use. And this tea maker, this electro tea maker, has a setting for boil, and because I like my tea so concentrated, I put it up on that level. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on. It's on boil. Now, I actually prepped this the night before. I just put the seeds into this little metal container the night before, and in the morning, fill the water, stick it in. And now I'm going to go and finish getting ready or doing anything else I need to do while my tea is being made. And that's why I love doing it this way. So I'll be right back as the tea is getting made. All right, I'm back. So normally what I would have done while the tea is being made is I would have done my oil pulling, taken my shower, gotten ready, instead of standing here by the stove, which is why I absolutely love this little hack in making the prime tea. So my tea is all made. Now I typically allow it to steep just a little bit longer so that it gets really, really strong. But again, this is something that I've been doing for years, so you may want to make it a little bit weaker. And so the length for how long you let it steep will determine also how strong the tea is. So once I let that steep for maybe like another 10 minutes in that hot water, then I will pour my tea into my handy dandy thermos, which I absolutely love. And this keeps my tea warm all day long. So I'll pour it in here, and then I just take small sips of it all throughout the day. And that is the best way to use the tea, is to take small sips all throughout the day. So there you have it. The easy way of doing the prime tea and some of my favorite additions. And let me know if you have some kind of a special way of doing it, or if you have something that you've learned goes excellent in the prime tea for your particular needs. Thanks for joining me today, guys. See you soon.